Hello, hello. Checking in. Just a minute before we start here. Hope you guys are all doing great and testing my audio. So I'll wait for someone to jump on and see if you guys can hear me. Test. Making sure you guys can hear me okay. All right, how's everyone doing? It's Raj Qsar with the Boutique Real Estate Group. Hope you guys are doing amazing. And just doing a few technical things here in the back before I get started. Can you guys hear me? Drew, sound check. Yep, we can hear me. Awesome. Well, great. Well, thanks for having me on. I just a quick shout out to homes.com, to Joe and to Drew and to Monica. Thanks so much for having me on today. I really appreciate it. I am in our office, which is looking quite lonely right now. Kind of sad, actually. We've been closed for about 6 weeks here in the office, but my name is Raj Qsar, and I'm the CEO and owner of the Boutique Real Estate Group. And just like it sounds, we are a boutique real estate brokerage based in the heart of Orange County, California. And for those of you out there listening, Orange County, California, it's that bit of heaven right between LA to the north and San Diego to the south. So when you think of Orange County, you think of things like Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, and amazing beaches, Newport Beach, Huntington Beach, San Clemente, Dana Point, and everything in between. So that's kind of where we eat, live, and breathe real estate. And I've been in business for 15 years. The boutique was created in January of 2013. And we've got about 30 agents and 7 staff. And if any of you want to connect with me, I would love to connect with you on Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn or TikTok. Some great platforms there. So just about on everything at Raj Qsar, that's RAJQSAR. On Facebook, I'm really close to that 5,000 friend limit. So if you're on Instagram, you can look me up there. Our company, The Boutique, on just about everything is The Boutique RE. Once again, The Boutique RE. Well, if you're anything like me, you're probably going nuts with any more virus talk. I mean, COVID-19 has literally flipped us upside down. And it kind of started for me at the end of February. I was on a trip up to visit a friend of mine in Napa. And she is always like 10, 15, 50 steps ahead of the pack. So after spending a weekend with her and just kind of getting my grips on this coronavirus thing, she was literally in wartime mode. So when I got back from that trip, it was the first week of March, and I came back and basically shut down my office, spoke to my family, and everyone was like, what is wrong with you? I mean, I flew back from Oakland to John Wayne with a glove on my hands and a mask on my face. I mean, I was literally the only one on the plane who had a glove and mask, and that was like March 1st, basically. So that was like a Monday. Tuesday was March 2nd, and that Thursday we closed down the office. We stopped doing open houses. I sent everyone home. We went 100% virtual, and literally we found out that we were also not essential. I mean, what the heck? How could we be not essential, right? I mean, there's so many sides to that coin alone, but we were non-essential. We went non-essential for 2 weeks. But a lot of brokers and friends of mine in the Orange County area were like, Raj, you're nuts. This is a joke. Why are you doing this? You always have to be ahead of the curve, Raj. Like, you're like an early virus adopter. I remember going to the store with a glove and mask on because I ordered my N95 mask right when I got back from that trip. I ordered my gloves right when I got back from that trip. And I went to the store and my family's like, what's wrong with you? I mean, I'm walking, went to the store, come back, basically stripped down in the garage and walk into the house, right? And my family's like, you're nuts. I don't understand. And like, no one really understood the gravity of it. No one really understood what was really happening with the virus and how that pandemic was literally affecting the entire planet. So anyway, my CEO brain did a 360 because like I said, all of us were non-essential here in California. I don't know what state you're in, but at least in California, we were deemed non-essential. And in Orange County, where we are, we didn't have like a stay-at-home clause or a shelter-in-place clause right away. So we were still kind of like barely doing things, but still doing, but like everything just completely stopped. So then we went to essential, and we were like, okay, well, how do we do what we know how to do and what we've been doing for the last 15 years now that we're essential, but we have a worldwide pandemic? So I immediately jumped on Zoom calls with like 20 or 30 leaders who I respect and I look up to across the country. And I wanted to figure out what they were doing. I wanted to collaborate with them. I wanted to figure out how I could keep my staff, my employees, my agents, our clients, and all of our families safe, right? And how can we practice real estate in 2020 with a worldwide pandemic? So there's two things that I found out in common from these calls. And before we get any further, if you have questions, drop them in the feed. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. Once again, if you want to connect with me, at Raj Qsar on Instagram, at Raj Qsar on Facebook, also on LinkedIn and TikTok if you want to jump on me within. But today, the summary of this whole call is I'm going to give you 5 things to play offense as we're dealing with COVID for your real estate business, and then 1 bonus perk at the very end. Okay? But these are 2 really quick tips that I learned from these CEOs, these leaders, these people I super respect across the country. These leaders took on a wartime mentality. They shifted their brain. And what I mean by wartime mentality is basically the topic of this talk. They went on the offense. They had to do what they had to do and make decisions, not just for their company, but the spheres of all of their companies combined to make sure that they were safe and practicing the best kind of real estate that they knew. A lot of these people, the second thing, a lot of these people learned from like our last real estate crisis back in like 07, 08, 09, that they had to pivot. And you couldn't just sit around and wait to pivot. You had to pivot, and you had to pivot quickly. You had to make decisions right up front, and you had to stick with those decisions. So I don't know how you feel, but like this whole coronavirus thing, it felt like it started 3 years ago to me. I mean, the last 6 weeks have felt like 3 years. But as we're getting through this, as we're getting to this new normal of life, this new normal of practicing real estate virtually, doing live calls like this, Zoom calls, Instagram live, Facebook live, whatever kind of live you're doing, this is kind of our new normal, and this is what we're doing now. The shock is starting to wear off just a little bit. I don't know how you guys are all feeling, but for me personally, I'm getting into somewhat of a groove. I'm not saying I'm happy with this groove that I'm in, but I'm getting into a groove now. I'm communicating with my staff, communicating with our agents. We do a once a week happy hour every Monday, just to get on board, kind of wrap our arms around each other and make sure that we're all doing okay and asking each other how we can support ourselves. But I'll tell you what, because you're on this call right now, I can guarantee you're making your business a priority. And the other thing I can guarantee, and remember these words, your competition's thinning out right now. 100%. Your competition, the people you're competing against with today, you won't be competing with those people a year from now. Guaranteed 100%. All right, so let's get to like the meat of this convo. Thanks for bearing with me for that little bit of a soapbox intro there. I want to give you 5 tactics to play offense. 5 tactics. So if you're writing this down, if you're in Twitter universe and you're tweeting stuff out, if you have questions, post them in the comments and let's go. Number 1. You guys ready? Number 1, mindset. Most people right now, and most agents in our industry, most CEOs, most owners, most managers, they're crying over the stuff they cannot control instead of going on the offense with the things they can control. Let me say that again. Most people are crying over the things they cannot control instead of going all in or going on offense with the things they can control. And why are they doing this? It's that crazy, not safe for work, 4-letter F word. You guys heard me? The 4-letter F word. And it's not what you're thinking, actually. It's called fear. F-E-A-R. And Tony Robbins actually has an acronym for fear. It stands for false evidence appearing real. I'll say that again. False evidence appearing real. And the crazy thing is like 80% of success is your mindset. 80% of success is your mindset. So if your mindset is full of fear, you've got 80% of yourself full of fear. You cannot let that control you. The other 20% is strategies. So don't let your mindset of fear control your strategies, okay? Strategies can accelerate your success, but if they don't get implemented, it's not going to control your mindset. That's the crazy part. Let me say that again. Strategies can accelerate your success, but they don't get implemented if they don't control your mindset. What's going to get in the way of your strategies? That 20%, that's separating you from all the other agents in your market, all the other brokers in your market, all the other brokerages that you're competing against. What's getting in the way? It's fear. It's fear. Don't let fear control you. And there's no way to push forward with that 20% if you're letting 80% of fear and mindset control you. I mean, think about it. TV, news, media, social media, all those conspiracy texts. I don't know if you, oh my gosh, how many conspiracy texts have you guys all received in the last 6 weeks? Like crazy conspiracies, right? Bill Gates, this, that. I mean, there's so many things happening right now that are going to fill your mind and alter your mindset. So don't let that happen. Don't. I promise you, have the right mindset. You have to. I repeat, don't let fear in. Have the right mindset. That's number one, mindset. You guys good so far? Number two, coming right at you is perspective. Perspective. Number one, mindset. Number two, perspective. And the definition of perspective is a particular attitude toward or way of regarding something or a point of view. So you have to maintain that attitude and that point of view, especially if you're a business owner or CEO of your business. Oh, by the way, we're all CEOs of our business. All of us. Every single one of us. I can tell you what my perspective is right now. I've got that wartime CEO mentality. Wartime CEO mentality. And being on the offense, you have to. I mean, here's the thing. You can't go around romanticizing your losses. You just can't. This coronavirus thing has leveled the playing field for all of us. So you can't go around and going, oh, I wish it was like this. I wish it was January 2019. I wish it was this. I wish it was that. I mean, January 2020. You just can't think like that. There's no way. As leaders, you have to instill confidence in your circle. Why? Why do you have to do that as a leader? So they can go out and instill confidence in their circle and create that perspective, that mindset. Remember, we're all doing what we love. We're all living the dream. This is our passion. Real estate. This is our passion. This is what we're doing. And to put it in perspective, think about this. Gary Vee said this. If you've ever bought a $5 cup of coffee in a world with 7.7 billion people, you are the top 1%. So in my honest opinion, you have to stop complaining. Change your mindset, change your perspective. And if you stop complaining, you have to start innovating. So that's number 3. Okay? Mindset, perspective. Number 3, innovation. Okay, for all of you who kind of know me, I've got this thing with Gary Vee. He and I kind of see eye to eye on a bunch of stuff, and I had the opportunity to speak for him at his conference back in Miami, Agent 2021, and it was absolutely awesome. I got to spend some time with him and kind of get in with him, and it was really, really cool. So I've taken kind of that Gary Vee mentality on a lot of stuff I do. So here's a couple things I'm going to say, and I'm going to say them again. I'm going to say them twice, maybe 3 times. So hang in there with me. Do not focus on what you cannot do. Focus on what you can do. Do not focus on what you cannot do. Focus on what you can do. So many of you know that we shoot a ton of video, like real video, actors, actresses, fancy cars, pets, all this kind of stuff. We have directors and producers and all that kind of stuff. We just listed an amazing home in a city called Fullerton, California, and it's called the Bridgeford House. For those of you that like to look at historic homes, check out thebridgefordhouse.com, and I'll drop that in the comments. Or if someone on my team at the boutique could drop the website in the comments, that'd be awesome. So this home was built in the 20s. We're in the 20s again. We had a really killer idea, a storyboard for a 20s flapper theme party. Okay, so, and then coronavirus hit. So now I can't have a video crew in there, 20 flappers dancing in this house, right? So I couldn't control that. So I had to focus on what I could do. And what I could do is Matterport tours, floor plan renderings, drone photos, still photos, all that kind of stuff, right? And then I had to figure out a way how I can get a Matterport video on Instagram, right? And how do you do that? And how do you drop it in a story? How do you drop it in a feed? All that kind of stuff. Thanks, Brogan, for dropping that in there. Thebridgefordhouse.com. So I couldn't focus on what we're known to do, what we pitch to the sellers. Like, hey, we're going to shoot this video. And that's one of the things that separates our team from maybe the rest. And that's maybe our competitive edges a bit, is shooting highly produced video. But we couldn't do that. And I couldn't focus on that, right? I can't. And I don't want any of you to focus on what you cannot control. You have to focus on what you can control. What I can control is having the sellers out of the home, being masked up, gloved up, making sure our photographer is masked up and gloved up, and doing the best possible thing that we could do. So that's innovation, right? You have to focus on innovation, and innovation for all of us is going to be a little bit different. I'm not saying the kind of innovation where you have to go develop the next social media app that's going to take the world by storm. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's going to be different for all of us. So I would love if you guys could drop in the comments what innovation means to you and what you're thinking about right now as I'm jogging your brain about what innovation is all about for you specifically. So innovation can mean a ton of stuff. It can be like, oh my God, I'm finally going to get on Instagram and crush it. I'm finally going to reach out to someone, maybe create a content calendar, maybe figure out what hashtags are resonating. I'm going to use alt text on Instagram. I'm going to comment, like, save on posts that I really like and increase engagement. I'm going to start a DM influencer group with people in the local community and get our Instagram accounts up and running. I mean, maybe it's going to be Facebook. Maybe you're going to finally start running ads on Facebook. Maybe it's TikTok. First of all, if you're not on TikTok right now, I don't know what you're smoking. Literally, you have to jump on TikTok. The engagement is amazing, and it's not just for kids anymore. My whole team knows that TikTok is not for kids. We got on TikTok a while back, and we're just having the best time. And that's innovation. That's innovation for you. I mean, innovation could be like a website, right? A website. Like maybe it's time to rebrand your website, or maybe do a brand refresh. You know, maybe it's something to do like that. Maybe it's finally time to update that headshot. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's time. Just update that headshot. Do it for all of us. And if you don't do it for anyone out there, just do it for me. Please update that headshot. Or hey, maybe it's time to like really dig deep on a CRM and figure out what CRM is best for you and your business, right? It's the $1 million question. What CRM is the best for you and your business? Or maybe it's digital signatures. I mean, we can't meet any people anymore. And oh my gosh, I'd have to shoot myself if I had to sign 100 pages of a California real estate contract. So maybe it's time that you figure out, how do you master digital signatures? Maybe it's just mastering going live, like doing this kind of stuff. You know what I'm doing? Masterclass. Masterclass is so great. I'm going to eat that up like crazy while I'm on lockdown for sure. Masterclass, or maybe it's learning how to fly a drone finally. Maybe it's just learning how to fly a drone. That's innovation. That's innovation, you guys. So number 4. So mindset, perspective, innovation, build your pipeline. Because if you start innovating and doing things that you never did, and like, oh my gosh, now you're showing up in the news feed, now you're always in stories, now you're crushing it on TikTok, now you took some master classes from some amazing people, and now you have something to tell, something to share, where before maybe you didn't have time to do it, right? Maybe you did not have time to do it, and now you do. So build your pipeline. You guys agree or disagree? It's like kind of hard to close a transaction right now. Drop it in the comments. It's kind of hard to close a transaction right now. It's definitely doable, but it's a lot more difficult than it was for a lot of different reasons. And so if you innovate successfully and you do all those things I was telling you to do before, if you innovate successfully, you'll be ready for the future. And when you're ready for the future, your pipeline is there already because you spent the time right now, this time, to plan for the future. Warren Buffett said, someone is sitting in the shade right now because they planted a tree years and years ago. Someone's sitting in the shade right now because someone planted a tree years ago. So plant those seeds now. Get off the sidelines. Get in the game. Stop being a secret agent. A secret agent. You cannot be a secret agent. You can't post once a year about real estate on any of the social media platforms. You just can't do that. That's not going to get it. That's not going to get it done, especially right now. Okay? So let's talk about some, like, for innovation, like, let's talk about some certain tactics in here, right? Like, what are you going to do for your pipeline? Let's talk about it. And here we go. Create more content on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. Create more content. You have the time right now. Create more content. So if your listings are low right now, you're not spending money on listings, right? Or maybe you're not printing as much because you don't have brochures in flyer boxes or inside of a home. So take those funds that you were using before, take those funds now and divert them digitally, online. So let's talk about it. Facebook, Instagram ads. What kind of ads are you going to do? Retargeting ads, AdWorks, AdRoll, whatever your jive is for retargeting, now's the time to do it. And let's talk about it. What kind of retargeting ads what are you going to retarget? Listings that you have that are on hold right now, listings that are currently active, listings that you just sold, maybe a market report, a market analysis. Like, what are you going to retarget? Maybe it's a big smiley picture of you with a mask on and gloves helping your community and leading people to what you're doing right now to practice safe real estate on your blog. Maybe it's something like that. This is a great time for all of us to go to our email drips that we have going and stop those drips. Just completely stop those, take your time, repurpose those drips, and make them IRL, in real life, to what's happening right now. Some of you had drips going on for 3, 4, 5 years. Believe me, I know, because I get them and I read them all. It's the same drip that I get the second Sunday of the month at exactly the same time. It's the exact same message. So this is a great time to stop that. Stop your old drips, build new drips, right? And maybe it's time to just do a simple brand refresh, right? Maybe it's time to update your logo, your mark, your icon, whatever you want to call it. There's certain things that we can't do right now. We can't go door knock. We can't meet people for a happy hour, have a cocktail, get belly to belly with people. We can't do that. So this is a great time to pick up the phone and call your sphere. Call all those people who helped you get to the point you are now. Call them, text them, FaceTime. FaceTime's blowing up right now. I don't know why people have time now to FaceTime. Maybe because they're just at home and they're not driving around the city. I mean, I have more time now, so I'm FaceTiming people anytime I can get. So that's a great time to do that. So those are the first 4 things right there. Everyone good with me? Everyone good? Can you guys drop in the comments if this is resonating at all for you? So number 1, mindset. Number 2, perspective. Number 3, focus on innovation. Number 4, build your pipeline. Number 5, and this got a separate little bullet here. This is number 5. It's got its own little designation. Go live. Don't be afraid to go live. Okay? So tell your story. Tell us what's happening in your market, in your community, in your home, in your family. Tell us what's happening. You have Facebook Live. You have Instagram Live. You have Zoom. Uber conference. There's so many ways to go live right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. So I love the fact that homes.com reached out to me and Raj, we want you to go live. This would be awesome. You should do it. Let's go live. Let's go live. So you got to go live. And here's a great thing. Here's what I've been doing. I've been picking one person a day to go live with on Instagram or Facebook. It's up to you what platform you want to use, but pick one person a day. Who's that person? Someone that you've always wanted to talk to, someone super influential in your life, someone that you look up to. Maybe it's one of your neighbors who's a doctor or a nurse who's on the front lines, policeman, firefighter, paramedic. These are great people to jump on a call with and go live and share with your community what they're dealing with, what you're dealing with, what you're doing to help the community. It's just a great way to do it. Or maybe jump on Facebook and say, I'm going live tonight at 5 o'clock. Who wants to jump on with me? And just kind of see what happens. Really, it's time to see what happens. Get on live and just go for it, okay? So I'll tell you what, and you guys remember this, and this is definitely a quotable moment. This is a tweetable moment if people are still on Twitter. But your ability to make money right now, is directly proportional to your ability to handle uncertainty. One more time. Your ability to make money right now is directly proportional to your ability to handle uncertainty. So we're all going through this. We're all in the same place. And I'm going to pause because this is really, really important. A lot of people are not going to be in this business a year from now. Heck, they're not going to be in this business by December. They're going to be out. So you have to jump in. You have to do these 5 things. These 5 things. 5 things. Super simple. Don't tell me you have the time. Don't complain. Just do it. Okay, that's the first 5. Here's your bonus. This is for you. This is for all of you out there. You have to work out. When you feel strong physically, you will feel strong mentally. You have to work out. You have to make your health a religion. Gary Vee says you have to make your health a religion. So there's nothing more important than your health. Your family needs you. Your company needs you, your team needs you, your staff, your employees. You have to take care of yourself. Before you go buy that 42-inch flat screen, 50, 80-inch flat screen, before you go on your next vacation or buy season tickets for something, put money into yourself. Join a gym, get a personal trainer, whatever that is. Make that your financial commitment to yourself. Because if you start now, whatever age bracket you're in, it could be in 5, 10, 15, 20 more years of you living your life, loving your life, and embracing your passion. So you got to stay healthy. So I'm right at 25 minutes here. I totally see that. Once again, if you want to reach out to me, if you're struggling, if you just want to chat, my cell number is 714-412-5019. 714-412-5019. Call me, text me, email me, whatever. I would love to connect with you guys. This was super fun. If any of you have any questions, please drop them in there. I would love to answer them. Love to connect with you on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn. I hope you guys have had some fun with this. I really did. I enjoyed seeing all the comments that are scrolling right now. And thank you so much to Joe, to Drew, to Monica. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.